Feeling stuck at 40? Here's how to reignite your career ambition. Hey everyone, welcome back. So let's be real for a second. You're in your 30s, maybe even approaching your 40s, and suddenly there's the strange feeling creeping in. You know, that nagging voice in your head saying, wait, what am I actually doing with my career? You've worked hard to get where you are, checked off some of those life milestones, and yet, here you are, feeling kind of stuck, maybe even a little lost. And hey, it's totally okay, because today we're going to figure out how to get that fire back. How to reignite your career ambition in a way that makes you feel genuinely excited to jump out of bed in the morning. You see, what a lot of people don't talk about is this phenomenon where ambition starts to feel dull. And it's not that you've lost your drive, but rather your goals feel outdated. They don't quite fit the person you've become. Maybe you took a certain career path because it seemed like the most reasonable option, or maybe it was expected of you. And now you're finding yourself wondering if there's something more, something that actually makes you feel alive. And I want you to know that you're not alone. Far from it. In fact, most people go through this phase at some point. The important thing is acknowledging that this feeling isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth. It's your mind and soul nudging you to do something that aligns with who you truly are today, not who you were 5 or 10 years ago. But here's the thing. Reigniting your career ambition in your 30s isn't about making some drastic, overnight change. It's about tuning in to what truly matters to you, and then making intentional, realistic steps toward that vision. So today, we're diving into 5 powerful strategies to help you get there. And I promise, by the end of this video, you're going to feel so much clearer about where you're headed. Let's start with the first and probably most important step. Understanding what you truly want. Now, this sounds obvious, but hear me out. A lot of times, we think we know what we want just because it's what we've always been told to want. A high-paying job, prestige, security, and those things are all valid. But if they're not truly yours, they're not going to keep your passion alive. One of the biggest mistakes people make is confusing ambition with external validation. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle culture, measuring success by things like titles, salaries, or what society deems impressive. But if your ambition is rooted in trying to prove yourself to others, it's bound to fizzle out. It's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour, it's never going to feel enough. So what do you do instead? You dig deeper. You get real with yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what kind of work genuinely energizes me? When do I feel most alive and engaged? And perhaps most importantly, what would I pursue if I wasn't afraid of what people would think? Here's a quick exercise to try. Write down 3 moments from your career where you felt truly fulfilled. Not just accomplished, but fulfilled. What was it about those moments that made them special? Was it the creativity, the collaboration, the challenge of solving a problem? Once you identify those elements, you can start reshaping your ambitions around them. And once you've got a clearer idea of what genuinely matters to you, you can start building goals that feel exciting and meaningful. Goals that actually align with who you are, rather than who you think you're supposed to be. But knowing what you want is only the beginning. Because let's face it, life is busy. Responsibilities stack up, and before you know it, weeks turn into months, and those ambitions just kind of sit there collecting dust. So how do you actually take action? That's where our next strategy comes in. And trust me, it's a game changer. The second strategy is creating a structured plan that fits your lifestyle. Okay, so you've figured out what you want. But now, how do you make that happen when you've got work deadlines, family responsibilities, and just life? Here's the secret. You don't have to flip your entire life upside down to start moving toward your goals. Instead, it's about finding ways to make your ambitions fit into your daily reality. This means breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Think of it like this. If your goal feels like climbing a mountain, then your daily actions should feel like taking small, steady steps, not sprinting until you collapse. For example, let's say you've realized you want to switch careers entirely. That's huge. But rather than quitting your job tomorrow and diving headfirst into the unknown, start with something like dedicating just 30 minutes a day to researching your desired field. Or maybe you can spend your weekends developing new skills or networking with people already working in that industry. It's about making progress without overwhelming yourself. Consistency over intensity. It's better to spend 30 minutes a day working on your dreams than trying to force yourself to put in 8 hours once a month and then feeling discouraged when you fall short. And here's a little bonus tip. Schedule those 30-minute sessions like they're important meetings. Because they are. This simple shift in mindset can make a huge difference. Suddenly, it's not something you'll try to squeeze in when you have time. It's part of your life. Priority. But even if you've got a great plan, there's something else that can totally derail your progress. And it's a trap so many of us fall into. The third strategy is breaking free from the comfort zone trap. Here's the thing. Comfort is seductive. It's familiar, safe, and let's be honest, it feels pretty good. But staying in your comfort zone is like living in a tiny room while your dream career is happening right outside the door. If you really want to reignite your ambition, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That means trying new things, taking risks, and most importantly, being okay with failing along the way. Because here's the truth. Every failure is a stepping stone. It's feedback, not defeat. Maybe it's pitching an idea at work that's been on your mind for months. Maybe it's finally signing up for that course you've been thinking about. Whatever it is, remember that the discomfort you feel is actually a sign of growth. And with growth comes progress. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. Because it's not coming. Take that messy, imperfect action now. You'll thank yourself later. And with that said, let's talk about something just as important, finding the right people to support you along the way. That's our fourth strategy. The fourth strategy is building your support network. Here's the truth. No one achieves greatness alone. Whether it's mentors, peers, or even friends who understand your vision, having a solid support network can make all the difference. Surround yourself with people who genuinely want to see you succeed. And more importantly, who aren't afraid to challenge you when you need it. And finally, the fifth strategy. Keep moving forward no matter what. The journey to reignite your ambition is rarely straightforward. But every step counts. Keep going, keep growing, and remember you're capable of so much more than you think. Let's make it happen.